Welcome or welcome back to the Light Renegades. My name is Starr. Thank you so much for joining me today, everyone. I want to say that there has been some resistance from me with regards to this space with MJ with Love, because I know that we are now stepping into the territory where we're going to be getting ever deeper into their life path and what truly was going on behind the scenes. And it's been some time since I've been in disclosure world, like I've been sharing in the most recent videos, and it takes a lot to really face all that is happening in the world. And for some time, I was living, eating, breathing, sleeping this paradigm over and over and over and over again. And for a while I had to step away because I felt like it was just breaking me. I did come to breaking point many times on this channel. Some of you have all been here to witness it. And I'm sharing this because I think now it is time for so many to understand that they know what is going on here. So what are you going to do about it for you to create a lighter space for you to exist in? And I realized that this was always going to be my path. It was always going to be a space for me to to create that was going to be of the lightest vibration for me, now that I know the truths of this world. And that is our job here. That is our mission here, is to share the lightness that we know can exist, does exist. We've created these pathways within ourselves, within our soul, within our neural understandings. I want to say neuroplasticity, within our energetic frequency, to be able to share with others, because we know how dense it is out there. We know what is going on behind closed doors to the highest degree. And, it is horrific, but we can't do anything necessarily specifically about those exact things that are happening. We are trying our best in parallel times. We are trying our best, in the teams that we've got behind the scenes working on those aspects. But it's about what we do every single day to create a lightness in other people's hearts, in our own hearts, to keep that fabric of existence going. This idea of heaven on earth, of rainbows and sparkles on earth, as I like to call it. And I promise you, I've reached my absolute limit of Delulu, as I like to call it. I'm now wearing the most rose-colored spectacles you have ever possibly imagined. I brought myself a fairy hat. My dear soul sister Anna Maria actually brought me some rose-colored spectacles because I was like, now is the time. She actually sent me them in the post with a pack of really cute stickers, and I was like, this is it. I know what's going on out there, so now I want to pivot and I want to create as much lightness and as much happiness as I can in all of my spaces. So this is me encouraging you to do that, and I'm sharing this off the back of sharing today's message that I do have to share with you all from MJ. And I'm in current time, everyone, so I've just channeled this message with MJ, and I was very, very, very grateful. It left me in floods of tears, as I seem to be with connecting with them. I've had much more time speaking with them. I shared some videos in the community tab. I will continue to do that, so please do watch along as they continue to share, because there is going to be some correlations, and I think that it helps really shape the messages that we do get from them. And I want to say that that energetic signature is just so incredibly there's no words for it, so I hope that you are sinking and feeling into it. And I completely understand this aspect of them that is just an inner child to every degree. And I really don't want to speak too soon about some things that I know are to come, but I want to say that I hold any soul in the highest vibration of when they do return back to us. And why they've returned back to us is to share what they know, what they have experienced, so that we do know the truth, so that we do know what is happening out there in the world, but so also that we can prevent ourselves from slipping into the traps that these negative reptilians have laid out for us, these negative energies and entities, I want to say, out here have laid for us, because it's not just them. There was a whole fabric of reality that opened up to me that I just didn't see coming or truly existing, that I know holds a lot of this collective back and captive. And we're trying to break away from those shackles and those constraints. So I want to say, don't fall victim to that mindset, to the idea that everything is just so bleak and there is no way out, because you can create that light for yourself, and that's exactly what we're doing here together. But MJ does speak upon this. It is it's a fairly lengthy channeling, so please bear with me, but I was grateful to have this chat with them today. I hope that you can all sense just how much heart they do have for humanity, and I think that that was incredibly obvious when they were incarnated. And I wasn't necessarily a huge fan myself of this artist. I really respected them. I thought they had a phenomenal voice, a phenomenal stage presence, and there were members of my family that were big fans, so they were a big part of my life musically. and to look back at their life again through the fresh eyes that I have now. You know, it is heartbreaking. It is heartbreaking to witness that downfall, so to speak, that was so incredibly crafted behind the scenes. So I was great to receive this message from them today, because they do tap into a little bit more of that. I want to warn everyone that after today's message, we are going to be going into the deepest, darkest depths of the belly of this expression with this soul. And I feel like it was supposed to come through this week, but the week that I've had, I just wasn't prepared for it, everyone, so apologies. I have had to push this back to be able to sink back into that deeper state of knowing again. But I'm going to explain a little bit more about what's been going on for me behind the scenes in the most recent energetic update video, so I'll tag that in the description below for those that might not catch this in real time. But today's message with MJ, who wants to be called love, was titled Listen, and that energy is still very much within me. That energy is still very much in my physical vessel as I've been speaking with you, and I feel like they want to be this present. So if you do want to tap into that energy, you know, no matter how how comfortable you feel is going to be up to you, but that energy and their presence is always here to be connecting into, if you so wish. You know, highest light, highest vibration that you could possibly call in that expression. We want to make sure that there are no nasties or trickery energies in there, but their soul is just so pure and their heart is just so incredibly light. It honestly brings me to tears. Makes me want to just absolutely erupt into tears whenever I sit with them, because yeah, I'm going to just share this message so that you can all experience what I'm experiencing here. So today's message from NJ was titled Listen, and they started with, "Thank you all for being here. I know many question why we return, why we wish to speak now. Many of you here that have been awakened for some time know that this life as you once knew it will eventually shatter. You will all come to see the truth, and in time you will know exactly what this is all does mean. I'm here to help usher in that existence. By creating spaces like this, we give the truth, light, energy, weight, a force. So thank you. And I have known for some time I was going to speak, sorry. I'm here to help usher in that existence. By creating spaces like this, we give the truth, light, energy, weight, and a force. So thank you. I've known for some time I was going to speak, but only a couple of days ago did this soul understand that this was always going to be a connection made. She was told right at the beginning that I was always there, watching, eagerly waiting for this time to come. I feel grateful for all that I've lived. Believe me when I say that there is so much that I could be happy about and thankful for. I wasn't a soul that saw fame in the same light as others do. I didn't want to be adored. I just wanted to share my voice and to share a part of me that I knew deep down was meant to be received by others. I made some strong connections along the way, and I will forever be grateful for them. They truly saw me and understood me. It wasn't until much later that it all came crumbling down around me to the degrees which you have all witnessed. It was tough. My father was tough, but I could handle that. It was the fame that truly became the tonic that tipped it all over the edge. That's the thing, once you become so rich and so idealized, there isn't anything that you can't have. You start to not appreciate it. That wasn't my energy, but I saw that with so many around me. You start to believe your own hype. That's when it all comes falling down. You have truly left reality. You become a pawn. Once you believe that you are it all, they have you. And this is not a belief held in healthy ego. I'm talking about idealism, the notion that when others say the false gods. I believed there was a higher force. I believed it was that which guided me. I also knew that at any given moment when it all became too dark, that I was always being held and supported somewhere. I don't know how to put it into words. Most of you all here know that feeling too. You just know. I'm sharing today's message as a plea to those to come back down to reality, to look around at humanity and to hold compassion, to see yourself and others as one in the same. We are all the same, to put it simply in earth terms. You all have a soul that deserves to be seen by others. But they have taken this simple act of living, they have tarnished it, and they have held it captive for all to be pushed into a higher state of pride and overstimulated you all to believe that you are nothing. So I'm going to read that again. But they have taken this simple act of living, they have tarnished it and held it captive for all to be pushed into a heightened state of pride and overstimulated you to believe that you are nothing. Please truly take a look around and see the reason why you are here, what you came here to do. My life I knew I wasn't living just for me. I think that's what helped me stay as level-headed as I did. It may not have seemed it through the media, but I promise you, behind closed doors, I knew what was going on. The games that they play, I felt it. It hurt, but I could read it like a book. Most of you all here know this feeling, but you have the luxury of community. True community here, so don't waste it. Lean on one another. Look out for those that you know need it. Give what little you have to help others if you can. This and these are the energies that have been saving the world and will continue to. We could get incredibly expansive here, and it's all so hard to say in the short amount of time that we have, but I hope my energy speaks for itself. I hope that in sitting with me like this, you can look back at my life through this lens, through a different lens. I wasn't here to harm anyone, especially not a child or children. My life was a grand play. They did win to some degree. My shadows became public knowledge, and that was the final test. Will you crumble or will you stand stronger and taller? This dear soul sat before you knows this feeling all too well, as do so many of you. So I commend you. I thank you. You've all helped me see that my life wasn't all in vain, no matter how it ended. I'm grateful for the life that I did live, because at moments, for moments, it was the sweetest, and I wouldn't have changed it for the world. To stand side by side with my family on a stage to prove to myself that I could do it against all odds. I'm proud of me, and I'm proud of me just as I'm proud of all of you. And yeah, apologies everyone. I'm finding it really, really difficult to stay present in Michael's energy, because there is just so much that keeps being brought to the surface of their life, and so many snapshots of aspects that they were living, and watching the videos that have been brought forward and the things that I've shared in the community tab. It seems incredibly obvious what happened now with this soul. And for many years I think that I've looked at examples of this in social media and just thought, I'm not entirely sure what is happening here, but I don't understand it. And I think that I felt this way about a lot of the souls that I've been connecting to this lifetime, and those souls that have played a real big part in my life and in my expanse. And when I step into Michael's energy, it's Diana, former Princess of Wales, that comes to mind, and also Brittany Murphy in this expression. And it was through the very first time that Diana stepped towards me that I was told that Michael Jackson was also going to be a soul that I've been connecting with. And it's interesting to me because the song Dirty Diana played when I very first saw Diana step towards me, and she had a brown wig on, and she pulled it off, and that's when I saw the iconic version of Princess Diana and all that she was. And I thought, okay, this is making sense to me, and her playful nature was coming to the forefront then. And it gives me full body shivers to look back at that full circle moment, and to know that I was always going to be here sharing this soul's voice. And I had no idea what was going to come when I started to channel in this way, and when I started to create this space at a deeper capacity. And the community that has come from this, the souls that I met before creating this fully, Anna Maria, Cabello being two souls that I consider to be my family, perhaps even closer than some of my family in this present given time. The energy that I felt from such beings, that I continue to feel from such beings that we are told don't exist, that aren't truly here. I think that I always knew that there was something to this life that I couldn't quite put my finger on, and I struggled to be here because I would look around and think, this can't just be it. And this was way before I was awakened. And now I see it all. Now I see exactly what happens and the games that are played. And through connecting with Michael's energy, with love's energy, I now see where I was told to stop, where I was told to halt before I'd gone any further, so that I could completely flip the script again and go back to my roots, go back to the very beginning, to see why I created anything that I've created this lifetime, why I chose to step forward and say yes to this path, so that I could be humbled, so that I could be kept small, so that I could be kept in a state of, this is what I came here to do, to help those souls that wish to be helped too. And it's not about fame. It's not about having the most amount of followers. It's not about having the most amount of, eyes on you. It's about those souls that you help and how that feels to you. And I know for a fact that teams of light halted me just at the point where I could have decided to take myself to a heightened state of inflated ego, inflated self, and I was completely, just halted in my everything to just stand strong and feel the pain that it felt to be, well, perceivingly rejected, to be perceivingly pushed out onto the outskirts of others, to not be taken into the fold by some, to be held just behind the door, for people to say no, for people to say you're not good enough, so that I could stand stronger and taller, and now look back and see that it was all to create me, to be the best version of me, but also the most humbled version of me. So I'm grateful that I didn't say yes to any of the other contracts that are slapped down in front of you once you start to really tap into these higher states of consciousness, because they do come. And I'm grateful that I am the soul that I am every single day, because I know how easy it is to fall for the traps and the tricks of those out there that wish to keep others stuck, wish to keep them in this karmic expression of loops and cycles that will keep them trapped in that, gaining those lessons over and over and over again. And there is always a very specific pathway that each soul takes, but I know that so many have been falling into that trap that is now taking them on a path that is going to take them a lot longer to reach this highest state of consciousness. And that's okay, that's supposed to be their path, but I knew it wasn't mine. And I'm grateful that teams have guided me in such a way to have trust and faith in my soul that I could be, and I was the right soul to bring these expressions forward, because I see them as one and the same. I see them all as souls that were just trying to share their gift, and that's all that they wanted to do. And some, got an inflated ego in that expression. Others just completely crumbled in fame, in that limelight. And I think that's what I always felt in these souls, like Chester, like Brittany Murphy. There was a sadness, there was a deep just well of unquenchable living and soul's essence that they couldn't reach. And I know that I was guided to those souls because I had that within me too. There was just this fire of I'm not quite there yet, I don't understand what is going on, but there is something empty within me that I'm trying to reach. And now that I'm on the other side, and now that I've reached this part in my pathway, in my journey, I feel so happy and so proud and so elated that I've been guided to a space to be able to turn that darkness into a fire that bellows so brighter within me. And I feel it, and I see it, and I sense it, and I understand it, and I know that it's here for me. But you have to find that fire within yourself. And I know that MJ is stepping forward because they don't want others to fall for the same tricks, fall for the same traps that they too fell in. And I think that I'm speaking to some that have been wishing for fame, have been wishing for these aspects of glory that we are told is, the be all and end all. So I hope that if you are here and you find yourself here randomly and you're not entirely sure why, I hope that you hear these messages and you understand that the true essence of being here is living to a degree that is functioning in a space of abundance for you, not monetary value, so to speak, not having, XYZ be the best of the best, although that is a possibility too if that's what you want, but knowing that whatever you are reaching for, you are striving for it from such a heart-centric space that you can never be pulled from your true life path, and that your soul is always seeking that to help you gain a deeper aspect of this world and understanding, to help you push forward into heightened states of consciousness, but also sharing what you've already learned with others, and also taking a look around and being grateful for everything that you do have in every which way and turn that you can possibly look, and also sharing what you do have with others. And I think it's so important to say to self, if people could see who I am behind closed doors, would they still be proud of me? Would they still idolize me? Would they still want to be by my side? Because I think it's a very different forward-facing face that we have out there for some than what they are behind closed doors. So remember that, and also hold yourself to that high degree of expression too. And so many times on this pathway, I've asked for my teams of light to humble me. I said, please make sure that I have 2 feet on the ground, that I remember where I came from, but also trusting and knowing that the soul that lives within me is so much bigger than what people think it is, than this vessel that people are looking at. And it's been a real tough road getting to where I am right now, but I'm grateful for the journey, and ever more grateful that I've been able to sit with these souls and bring that and share their light again, their true story, and what it all means to have fame, and how it is such a paradoxical expression, but it's ultimately a prison. So I hope that these messages are going in where they are supposed to, and I hope that those souls that need to hear it are taking heed. Don't fall for the traps. Continue to live your life humbly and give to others and share with others and just live. You know, stop striving for the things that you see in magazines, through social media. You have to live for you. And if what you are doing is bringing you joy, good of all, harm to none, of course, you know, it can look exactly like the most picture perfect Instagram feed. That's okay. But as long as you are staying humble in heart and sharing what you have with those that might be in need too, it's about remaining as balanced as you can. And, you know, I've gone on a massive tangent here, but I'm just trusting it. And, you know, MJ is very much a soul that wanted to help humanity. I think it's really obvious now where their soul kept shining through, regardless of how high they got upon the ladder of fame. And I'm grateful for them. I'm incredibly hesitant for what's to come with them. You know, delving back into disclosure at this degree again has been difficult to step back into. But I'm here for it. And, you know, I hope that I'm doing these conversations and these channelings justice. I'm so incredibly grateful and proud of every single soul that has been with us right from the very beginning. But if you are here for the first time, thank you, and I applaud you for stepping up and for sharing your light and your soul within this community. I think that's best be all for me today, everyone. I will share a little bit more in the most recent energetic update video, but I hope that you all can just feel that you have a light within you that is supposed to be seen and witnessed by others, and you are supposed to share that light with so many. So go and do it, whatever that looks like to you. Please go and do it, but make sure that you are doing it in a balanced way, from a balanced state, from, you know, an ego that is healthy. And to share so much of what you have is to be able to gift your light to others. So let's start praising others too, and the light that they are sharing within our own sphere. Make sure that we are giving praise, as well as, you know, making sure that we are praising ourselves too. And especially if you have no one else to say that you're doing a great job, I'm here to tell you that. So if you would like support in your space, please know that I'm here to support you in any ways that I can. But that's all from myself and MJ today, and we'll be back real soon when it feels aligned. Take care.